Hello there, my name is Jamie Deitch. I'm doing my very first podcast about corporate social responsibility. We are broadcasting to you live from Sydney, Australia. Hope you enjoy the view. Anyway, let me tell you, first of all, what is corporate social responsibility? By definition, it is a business practice that involves participating in initiatives for business success. So, this can encompass several different aspects, from people to the planet to revenue. So how does your company impact the environment? What impact does it have on the carbon footprint? What types of materials are you using? Is it going to help the longevity of society? In regards to what philanthropic efforts your company is involved in, do you donate to local charities? And we're going to talk a little bit more about specific businesses later on. And what are your ethical labor practices? What do you do for your employees and their families? Are you treating them fairly and ethically? All of those aspects all fall into the definition of what is corporate social responsibility. I read an interesting article about Business News Daily. I quote, "Sustainability isn't just important for people and the planet, but is also vital for business success." So what the company is saying is that consumers are aware of what impact your corporation may have on the environment, and they will help make buying choices based on if you're a good company, and some of those PR practices really help a consumer decide where they're going to spend their money. So who is involved in CSR? Corporate social responsibility. So many companies. I wish I could tell you about all the examples, but a few that we talked about in the reading and in the videos. McDonald's, I love their initiative with the Ronald McDonald House. I'm a huge lover of kids, so that's something special for me. Not special enough that I'll eat the food, but way to go, McDonald's. They also talk about how they, over the past few years, have been using more energy efficient buildings, the solar panels, their materials aren't as harmful to the environment, and they also use better meats, better regulations. They treat their employees better than in the past. We talked about Panera Bread, and they have a big CSR program for feeding the hungry, which I thought was pretty cool. Starbucks, and also local hotel chains. One article was about Lowe's Philadelphia Hotel. They had a really impressive policy when it comes to CSR, how they do recycling, how they take their old materials and they donate it to local charities. And one reason that I'm so proud to work for Carnival Cruise Line is because we do some CSR as well. Carnival has a partnership with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and every cruise, when we're in America, we do a big fundraiser for the kids at St. Jude. So we ask the guests to donate $10 on their ship card. We give them a t-shirt and a wristband, and all the proceeds go straight to the kids at St. Jude. And also every year, it's pretty cool, Carnival sends out some of the cruise directors to St. Jude, and we get to run different activities for the kids. Last year, I got to go read the kids a Dr. Seuss story. It was the most amazing thing. So yay, Carnival with their CSR. Where does CSR take place? All over the world, all the way to Australia, which is far away. They gave an example in the video about the Brazilian rainforest and how the Marriott has teamed up and they are helping to preserve the rainforest because that's 20% of the world's oxygen and 20% of the world's natural water. So they're teaching the people that live there how to conserve their environment. They're also teaching the kids, an education. So it was really cute, that one little girl that said she wanted to be a lawyer when she grows up. In America, obviously, we have lots of CSR initiatives. I already mentioned McDonald's with the Ronald McDonald House. They are helping 7 million children and their families each year. And Panera Bread was another cool example. They are feeding America. They've given 17 million meals since 2012. I read another article, and it ranked the countries on their CSR contribution. So the top 5 were... We'll go from 5 to 1 because it's more exciting that way. UK coming in at number 5. Iceland, that's a nice place, coming in at number 4. Finland at number 3. Denmark at number 2. And the number 1 was Sweden. I was interested to find out, with all these huge corporations that we have coming from America, that the US was ranked number 18. Go us. Okay, so why would companies choose to have a corporate social responsibility? It's becoming more and more trendy these days. Well, there's 2 answers. One, you can say the companies really find it in their heart. They want to give back. They want to maintain their employees. They want to help preserve our environment. They want to think about future generations. That's the good answer. But I know there are some skeptics out there as well. So I read an article. There was one lady, Dame Anita Roddick. She was the founder of The Body Shop, and initially she was a huge ambassador for CSR, but she feels it has gone terribly wrong because businesses have become too obsessed with profit and economic growth. Criticisms of CSR in general. Capitalists say there's nothing that should get in the way of profits. Ooh, I think that's pretty harsh. And anti-globalization or environmentalists argue that companies are using this to repair tarnished images or otherwise paint a rosier picture of their practices while not addressing fundamental issues. I want to give an example with that one. I kind of have to agree. I mean, I'm proud about our St. Jude initiative, but one time I was on a ship, the Carnival Dream, and we were stranded in St. Martin for 3 days, and the company hired some musicians, John Cicada from the Miami Sound Machine, and flew him to St. Martin to do a concert for the guests. So amongst all this, hey, your cruise is canceled because there's like a small technical problem. Oh, but look at this huge, great thing that we're doing for you with a free concert. I don't know. I think that does happen sometimes. They want to get as much positive PR as possible, which is a good thing. I thought the International Journal of Hospitality Management article was very interesting. It examined different restaurants and tried to determine if CSR has an impact on CFR, corporate financial responsibilities. And according to that article, there was no conclusive results. So I would think that it would have a huge benefit when it came to profit, but that article said that really it didn't help so much with profits. Also want to mention a few HR issues when dealing with CSR, some of the ones that I found interesting. One was about blogging and social media, because obviously in America we have freedom of speech and you never know what your employees are going to post. So as an HR manager, you need to be really conscious about what the regulations are for your company. For Carnival, we actually have to sign a social media release, and we have to have on our Facebook, the views and opinions expressed here do not represent the views of Carnival Cruise Line. So that's interesting that we've all signed that. Not sure if it can be used in a legal way, but hopefully I'll never be faced with that. Also, a lot of companies are using LinkedIn these days to hire their new team members. Also, workplace wellness I thought was very interesting. It talks about how your methods are going to help employees and their families in regards to 6 different categories: physically, emotionally, intellectually, occupationally, socially, and spiritually. So different programs can help improve your morale at work. A few things to be conscious about are legal issues like the American with Disabilities Act. You need to make sure you're not discriminating against anybody. And state laws also might impact how your wellness initiatives will impact your employees. So those are a couple things to be aware of if you are implementing any new wellness programs. And another one I thought interesting was communication. Clearly, I'm stuttering, but that's okay. You need to know your expectations and your responsibilities as an employee, so that is the role of an HR director. And if you do know what you're meant to do, that's going to help improve your morale at work. So good communication is always a good thing. Don't hold your meetings on Monday morning or Friday afternoon. That's a bad thing. But this is just a couple highlights about CSR. I could probably talk to you for another hour, but I know you probably have other videos to watch. So thank you very much for your time. This was my first podcast. Hope it covered all of the topics, and hope you have a happy Easter. Bye from Sydney. Have a great day.